tab for the tree pulls, so every piece of information you could possibly want to route this seed is available to these two runners.
And we're starting off by getting the mushroom here. And I'll just say this much. The drops in this one are not that great. They're actually pretty terrible.
No, this is going to be a very challenging route for these two runners. Taking a look at things, so we got some divergence right away as ACMLM is heading, taking the mushroom we got out of Sanctuary and heading towards, I would guess, the potion shop, while gamercal is heading into Kakariko.
Well, both grabbed that, so we all know it's important. And we're seeing a Houlihan here from ACM. That gives you a good idea what's going on here, folks. I would assume. And yeah, gamercal's gonna be going down.
Oh, he failed it.
Yeah, he didn't set his white. He didn't go up high enough. If you ever want to hold a hand, the safest way is just enter the cave, then jump down 3 times.
I mean, gamercal getting some bombs and some money in Blind's Hut.
And a heart container as well.
ACMLM is heading to the castle now.
Yes, it is 3 jumps if you go for entering the cave. It's 4 if you try doing it from outside, without doing the cave setup. And hey, there's our silvers and our bow on each side.
Cal also opting to pick up some arrows, so I'll have a little bit of ammo before heading to a dungeon. ACMLM making his way into the castle proper now. Well, it looks like Cal may be trying for a Houlihan here.
And yeah, we're gonna see gamercal go for it here. Gamercal's gonna go for the same setup here. Starting from a little bit lower, so 4 jumps, that should be enough.
See if he gets it.
Yeah, we'll see.
There it is. Yeah, that's the Houlihan room.
Yep. So it's all about scrolling the screen just enough that it happens. So what I see... Oh, ACM taking a death. So yeah, I've never seen anyone coming from that low do it before. I usually go up... They usually go up in that little nook by the cave, or just enter the cave outright to set the proper map scroll.
Yeah, and Cal making his way to get his silvers and get whatever ACMLM did not manage to grab out of Hyrule Castle, I would guess.
See. We'll see. But yeah, we got a free bow and silver arrows here.
Very, very powerful weapon for the start of the game. A little limited on ammo, depending on where those arrow drops are and if you want to hop into dungeons or not. It could set up for an early Eastern clear. Eastern is a crystal in the suit.
Yeah, but there's the catch-22 of that, and that is the dark rooms. You don't really have a good weapon to feel out the Igor and snipe them in the dark.
That is true.
But dark rooms are a thing that one can execute pretty well. We'll see if any runner does it. But doing it without any sort of like secondary weapon to help them fight off the popos, that's the name of the weird enemies in the Eastern.
The ACMLM will have some more bombs and some more health here in a moment.
Yeah, ACM was trying to do a bomb escape, which, to his credit, would have worked if he managed to get past that first guard. But he had to be pretty perfect with his bombs, actually.
Yeah, he only had 3 bombs going into the escape, so he could get to this chest here, the boomerang chest, which has the glove.
And yeah, both of these runners, I feel, are pretty good on the execution side. gamercal especially after what we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, these are 2 very experienced, very skilled runners, so I don't have any doubts in their ability to do the dark rooms in Eastern, even with this low of life and the equipment they've got. It's still a challenge, though. That one room getting out of control can take things take things out of your hands very quickly.
And Cal picking up the key and a heart container there. Doesn't look like there was anything else in that room of note. Picking up the bombs there. Cal's up to 5. And we have a flute sighting. Nice.
Yeah. ACLM gets a flute out of Agnos Cave, while Cal looks like is going to make that eastern play.
So Cal still holding on to those rupees there. That's... Let's go to that point here a little bit. The money has to be really bad if they're doing Houlihan.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the money from Houlihan is overkill, considering we only have to do Palace of Darkness. So, two things we can describe from this was one, either the Spirit Fairy is required,
or
or
300 rupees for gamercal, by the way.
Okay, that leads to the second option. Yeah, they're got those 500 rupees. There must be something on Zora. We of course know, but maybe you guys can figure out what's there. ACM getting the flute online, trying to get a fast travel advantage on gamercal.
I think that's a smart play. That's how bad his early game went, and how unfortunate some of his choices were at the start. I think getting that fast travel advantage can make up a lot of time here.
Yeah, trying to get the momentum in his favor.
Meanwhile, Cal has everything he needs for Eastern Palace and is making his way in. He's going to skip that map chest and head over to the back of Eastern.
Yeah. And we'll see if Cal can actually go and execute this. There are at least a lot of arrows in pots in Eastern to stock up on that. And hey, the Book of Medora.
We are literate this seed.
But why would Cal pick that up? I wonder. I may just be playing coy here, just as a heads up.
Yeah, with a pendant bezer, that means there's either something there or something on one of the pedestals, but we're still 2 swords away from even being able to activate one of those pedestals, or not pedestal, the tablets.
Yeah, and swords are gonna be a rare commodity in this seed, I can tell you that much.
You know, gamercal making his way through the Stelphos darkroom.
Flippers are nowhere inside. ACM. Oh no, flippers are in Mini Moldrum. What am I saying?
Yeah, flippers are in the Mini Moldrum cave, which led Acmlm to the hook shot.
ACM grabbing that without us even realizing it. Whoa! He almost missed his ride there. Alright, gamercal damage boosting, getting the big key now. Vanilla big key.
I didn't see how many hearts gamercal entered that room with. He went and grabbed both heart pots before doing the damage boost. That was a little different.
So yeah, he would have died.
He was at 1.5.
He was at 3. Those bubbles, while they're circling the pot, do 1 whole heart of damage.
Right. It's like Cal's also going to grab a fairy before trying this last dark room in Eastern Palace.
Makes perfect sense. Top off. That Igor can be quite deadly.
He just wants to love you.
Nice!
Got the key. It's getting bumped a little bit. It's got an Igor on him. You can see that health drain. And it looks like he's resetting the room.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense to me. Get some health back. And I like what Cal did. Using the arrow to feel out the Igor to shoot it with the arrow.
Yep.
Because it actually stuck in the Igor's body.
Alright. gamercal got out there. And should have smooth sailing here for the rest of Eastern. Silver arrows are going to make the Armos Knights a big joke. Meanwhile, Acmlm is going to get his glove.
And full magic there. Pretty nice find for Cal. Alright, killer here. Pretty
Popos
straightforward.
are not being too kind to him, but through mostly cleanly and on to the boss.
And the mushroom turn in fact was mids. We see ACM with them. And here come the armor knights, and down go the armor knights, and hey, free armor!
One dungeon for gamercal. ACLM right on his heels with a little bit better equipment at this point.
Indeed.
So even with all that time that was lost in the start, the flute has helped out a lot.
Oh yeah, just moving around the overworld that much faster without boots is going to help ACM in the long run. We still have no idea where that moon pearl is.
No, it looks like Cal is going to go either to the dam or off to the desert area.
This looks to be desert.
Yep.
Because, let's be real, this is a spoiler race. Cal knows the flute's over here.
Yep.
So, very well routed, I feel, from Cal. And given the book, there might be something in desert that he's going to get along the way. So, this works out for him as well, because it's just clean routing.
Yeah. Trying to consolidate all your checks in one trip.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a big challenge in these spoiler log races.
Yeah, one of the things that makes these races so good is that routing is going to be quite efficient, I feel, especially if you know the playing your route well. And these two know where the others are, I should mention. Normally, we don't have a we have a rule that says, hey, no looking at the other runner. That rule is literally for this because they know where everything is already, so there's no real point in having that around.
Right, we just treat this as an NMG race in that manner. Aghanos Cave had the flute, and now gamercal's heading into desert. ACMLM having a bit of an advantage in those dark rooms with the hook shot. He's got a better way of keeping his own location in the room.
Yeah, and the hookshot also helps get rid of these popos as well.
Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. It's a weird enemy name, well, let's be sure.
Popo.
But yeah, let's be real. Link to the Past and Legend of Zelda in general have had weird enemy names. I mean,
oh, for
seriously.
Sure.
One of them is literally like.
Yes. Hookshot was in the hobo.
Alright, Cal's gonna be picking up the map chest here, it looks like.
There's our moon pearl.
And there's her moon pearl. And that is why the book was required. Because... Actually, wait.
Yeah.
Well,
we haven't seen the mirror yet, so...
we can probably piece together that mirror is locked behind Darkworld then.
Yeah, since our runners will be able to have mitts before Dark World. It's either locked in behind the hammer, which we haven't seen yet, or it's locked in that Dark World.
And wow, very efficient clear on those enemies. And once again, the flute is being activated by gamercal.
Hello, Armus, and
goodbye, Armos. So we'll see where Cal's next play here is. Because I actually don't know.
I would guess he's going to the potion shop to get those mitts, which is where he's headed.
Yeah, that's for Dark World access. That makes sense.
Back of Escape had Had just a heart.
Had a boss
Grab
heart.
the key.
Yeah.
Yep.
Picked up another heart container. ACM getting some money as well.
And the fluting continues.
KO going to 8. Getting the bow out. Probably going to go get those flippers now. And maybe also use those flippers to go pay a visit to Zora, considering the money is up there.
Yeah, definitely has Zora money. This could be a pretty efficient trip here. So we already know that the flippers are here. Hook shots, flipper locked.
Yeah, on the hobo.
Acmlm did finally get his Houlihan.
Yeah, up to 610 rupees.
And he's off to desert to go get his Moon Pearl. Yes, the first try Houlihan. Always a treat.
That was clearly first try, yes.
My monitor went out. I didn't see anything.
Alright, so Cal is taking a swim here. Both runners at 600 rupees, which Cal is just a little bit short, but if there's no other purchase made, he just needs to find 8 more rupees, and then he'll have enough for the seed, because with pot unavailable, we do need an extra 110.
Yes.
Words are hard sometimes, folks.
There's a hookshot for Cal, while Acmlm is grabbing a heart after getting the Moon Pearl, and let's see where he's headed. Spot 8 must be Zora time for both these runners. They're right next to each other.
Yeah. This is synced up rather nicely. That early fluke from ACM actually made him catch up a little bit.
Got all that time back, because we are...
Wow, this is like frame for frame. They're
both runners headed to the waterfall.
What was in here again?
A little more health. And Cal grabs the 20 rupees that he will need.
Yep, so both runners now at that ideal money total that they will need for the rest of the seed here. And yeah, this is Zora. So chat, what do you think's at Zora? You have a few seconds. Let's see what you guys think is there.
We got a sword, we got a hammer,
boots, mirror.
I don't think it's sadness.
Fire rod, hammer, fire rod. All right. Well, let's see here.
Hamburger.
The answer, of course, folks, is the hammer. They now have a melee weapon.
Hammerhead Zora today.
And with that, folks, both of our runners now have Darkhold access. ACM is opting to go to bot. Looks like ACM is opting to go Village of Outcast, maybe to Skull Woods, maybe to Thieves Town.
No fire rod yet, but Thieves Town is certainly clearable with all the equipment he has. Cal is choosing to go to Hype Cave.
I forget what's there, actually. Let me look at the spoiler log. I still have it up.
I think it's going to make him a little safer.
Yeah, just picking up that red potion there and maybe another
and a piece of heart.
Meanwhile, ACM getting the lamp out of the sea house there, so that's the trilogy right there. Bow, hammer, lamp. Palace of Darkness dive's in his future. I think Cal will make that same dive too.
Yeah,
just choosing to... Oh, Chow's not making that dive.
Oh, he's got to go get the lamp first, I think. Or he's going to want to get the lamp first. He may want to clear out Thieves Town as well.
Yeah, Dark Turtles without any sort of fire source. I can see
miserable.
Yeah. Okay. This makes perfect sense to me now.
One interesting thing, ACMLM needs to be cleaned through this. He doesn't have the rupees to make a mistake.
Indeed. Cal, on the other hand, has enough rupees to make one mistake.
Yep. And without boots, you can always make a mistake here, but ACMLM is through.
Cal picking up a shield.
Sure, why not?
Not sure if that was on purpose or not. And we see ACM into pod.
Sometimes you just need to accessorize.
And we get a small key here in pod. Not that it matters, we already have the bow. Cal's immediately heading the back of Thieves Town. Oh, and I just double-checked the spoiler log, and I now remember why he's going here. Okay.
It's a crystal. It's got to get done at some point. Although, ACLM choosing to do pod right away with no boots and no mirror. There's got to be some important stuff in pod.
Let me see here. I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be some important stuff in pod if you're making this decision.
Don't worry, I'm not going to outright say what's here. Gotta give you guys a little bit of suspense, right?
Those are the boots in the attic for Cal.
And Cal's in fast mode. Let's... This is most assuredly why Cal prioritized this over Palace of Darkness.
ACMLM grabbing another heart out of the Dark Maze and pod. And a sword.
Yep, first sword of the match.
20 minutes in, 22 minutes in, only one runner has a sword so far. It's a very, very tight run for weapons. Cal getting hugged by a horse head.
Yeah, those exacts, not a nice thing to fight. Gonna be only at 2.5 hearts, well, 3.5 hearts, including this heart over here, blue male. It's gonna be a tough fight against blind.
I can whistle most pitches, but I can't see. Looks like
I get it.
one of gamercal's hits in the first phase. This fight is getting a little out of control.
Ooh, yeah.
Real good phase 2, though.
Oh!
I got the red pot. That safety is going to turn out big here.
Yeah, that's gonna save him a lot of time. Oh, okay. Whew. Kind of a rough blind height for your armor.
This Cal gets a red mail and has second crystal done, while ACM is almost done with pod.
Yeah, and while we were talking, actually, watching Cal do that fight, ACM stealthed us a Master Sword there, so there's 2 swords in pod.
Yep. Cal did not need to use the pot, but you try finishing that fight on a half a heart.
Yeah, that was mainly for safety, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Because blind when you have to go back in the room is scary. And yeah, ACM went to Pod over getting the boots in Thieves Town, probably to have the sword for the blind fight.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting seeing how people are prioritizing items here in this seed.
Yeah.
Cal getting his mirror.
The book would have been required then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, with the mirror in King's Tomb and the boots in
Dark
Thieves
World.
Town. Book was required to get that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, 100% required. And down goes the Helmsler King. You see him getting another kill there. And a little bit of his ammunition in back from the mimics that came before.
So, ACLM has his second crystal done. And they're going to have a little high-five moment.
And yeah, I will admit, Cal's hammer blind was a little on the rough side, but let's be perfectly honest here. Any blind fight that isn't on the usual movement script is rough. And good luck trying to get that with just the hammer. It's usually a sword-based strat.
It's going to be interesting seeing which player's route adds up here, as they're both going to converge. Cal having the boots is going to make Pod a little bit faster for him, but having those swords is going to make Thieves Town a lot more consistent for ACM.
Wait, there's a movement? There's a script set up for hammer strats? Well, there's something new every day, I guess. I did not know that. I only know the sword one. And for those who missed the second sword here in Pod, there it is on gamercal's side.
ACM or Cal resetting the arena room so he can get to the back.
So what we mean by scripted fight is that there's a set of movements and attacks you can do on blind in which the fight will behave the same way every single time. But as long as you move the same way every single time, blind will move the same way every single time.
Cal choosing to go for the hammer jump to get a second sword. I don't know about that one. It does save a little bit of time, but missing that hammer jump would have been pretty costly.
Yeah,
because he still has to go get the big key out of the Rupee room.
Well, the big chest doesn't have anything good in it. I think because I think ACM skipped it.
Right. No, ACM definitely skipped it. But you're not saving a key by doing the hammering up like you normally would.
Yeah, but I think what gamercal was not doing there wasn't saving a key so much as trying to be efficient by doing a full lap around.
Yeah, he definitely saved on backtracking.
Yeah, that was Cal's goal, is to save on backtracking here, because now he's going to pick up this small key here, and then he's in the lobby room again. So he was doing a mirrorless route despite having the mirror. Makes me actually legitimately wonder if Cal forgot if that they had the mirror. Alright, time to put the statue.
Meanwhile, ACM is escorting Blind up to the room.
Yep, and has the boots as well. Didn't mention that yet, but does have the boots.
So we should have these boss fights pretty close to one another. I think the Blind fight is a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and with the sword it will be quicker.
Did note that both runners cleared out the rupee basement in pod, likely to have money for picking up another potion or something.
Yeah. A little extra money for safety doesn't hurt. Either that, or it's just faster just to collect the rupees on as you go through the room.
One advantage of ACM's route here is he's now going to go into Skullwoods. Well, it doesn't have the fire rod.
Yeah, we'll see where that big key turns up. Gonna poke around here.
Cal's giving us some insight while he waits for Helmasaur to die.
Yeah. So Cal's routing did not skip shooter, so they had to route it without a mirror strat to save themselves a key and the extra maybe 20 seconds they would take in order to get to the back again.
Yep.
And what's in the big chest? Oh! Hi there, fire!
It's a convenient location for that item.
That's... What would say that would be vanilla? Even. Is that the first instance? It's not the first instance of vanilla either. We had a vanilla beaky in Eastern as well.
It did. That makes ACM's route make a lot more sense, because he can double Thieves Town into Skullwoods, whereas gamercal couldn't, because he didn't have a sword.
Yeah, you need a sword to get to the back here in Skullwoods. So this ACM's routing is allowing him to clear dungeons faster, but I think Cal's is overall being a little bit more efficient in terms of movement. And just getting the boots online as quickly as possible. We'll see which route pays off at the end. They're probably going to converge at... What do you think they're going to converge, actually? Misery Mire? Ice Palace?
Probably Mire.
And Cal picking up that half magic.
Although, yeah, probably Mire or Ice. I think Ice will probably be the last one for both these runners. Cal's gonna do. I would assume Cal's gonna do Skullwoods before then. Just get the fire rod. Bombus will have been gotten by that point because it's needed for Mire. But
yeah, and definitely Skull before Ice, because you kind of need that fire rod to enter Ice in the first place, unless Bombus is somewhere else. I actually legitimately forget where Bombus is. I'm gonna double check where that is.
Acmlm with a pretty clean Mothula on Master Sword. And this tournament has a 2-second tie roll. If our finish is within 2 seconds of each other, the race will be redone at a later point. So right now, Acmlm with a crystal lead. And getting his mirror. Oh, Cal is getting bodied a bit by this jelly. Trying to get the statue in place for the back of Swamp. That's right, Verokar. If there is a tie, there will be another race, and if there'll be a race 3, and if needed after that, a race 4. We got Acmlm getting his bottle out of Hype Cave, whereas Cal is almost to Argus.
There it is. It took me a while to find it.
Oh, you were still looking for Bombos?
Yeah. I didn't control F. I should have done that. That would have made it a lot faster. I had to actually scan it through like 3 times. They kept overlooking it. In any case, Cal's on the Argus fight here.
Master Sword makes this a pretty slow fight.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? I mean, they could menu boss, but that's arguably slower.
That's almost certainly slower.
Alright, Cal setting up the silver arrow shot. Very nicely
Easy
done.
every time. Yes, Death King. If there is a tie, the race that individual race result is tossed out, and there is an additional race added to the match later.
Yeah. So basically, if the tie happens here, if this race ends in a tie, then the result is null and void. Doesn't count for or against anyone.
Right. Right. Cal is heading off to... Looks like heading off to Skull Woods.
Yeah, so picking up some slack here.
Luminen, I think we've had 1 tie so far in the tournament.
Yeah, it will really depend on if the route is similar, and also if their execution levels are similar as well.
Yeah, we were looking at a tie up until nearly the end of last race.
Yeah, and execution on knowing a trick like the fire rod skip in GT is what ended it. But the routing here has been pretty good. The backup routing for ACM has been amazing. 2 major mistakes at the start, but got the flute and has been able to not only close the gap, but I think has taken the lead just slightly in terms of routing.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up here. But getting close to evening out in Crystals again. Cal is almost done with Skull Woods, is heading to the back of Skull Woods, whereas ACM is almost done with Swamp.
Alright, so we're going to see what's going to be going on here. ACM about to begin their Argus fight in just a few short moments. gamercal opening the way to Skull Woods. I'm curious to see where these two are going to route after the fact. Because Ice Palace is available to both of them now.
Yep.
And Fire Rod with half magic in Ice Palace is pretty good.
Yeah, it should be even on these low number hearts, it should still be a pretty safe fight with half magic Fire Rod.
ACM not want to be outdone, gets Argus in the other corner and defeats him with a single little silver arrow.
Cal with the caster strats on Mothula.
Yeah, and I think this is what Cal wanted the half magic for, which is why Cal decided to route the way they did. But Roadrun's paying out. The Moth is down.
I'd say we got like a 15-second gap or so.
Yeah, let's see where ACM and Cal is going next. Cal has the mirror ready. ACM is going to 8. Looks like ACM will be diving into Ice Palace. We'll see if Cal does the same, or is Cal going to go somewhere else.
Cal does have Fire Rod, yes.
Yeah.
Cal heading up to Death Mountain.
Alright. There must be something up here then. Once again, folks, keep an eye on those trackers is reg, so shout out to them keeping those items up to date to you. Looks like it might Looks like it's eating inputs here, because we know Cal has that fire rod, but it does that a lot. Trust me, I actually have worked that control panel before.
Yeah, there's a lot faster pace in these races, too. You're not having an extra hour of downtime.
Indeed.
Cal making his way through Super Bunny Cave. Skipping the chests.
And going into Hookshot Cave.
There's another piece of heart.
Gets 4. Fills him up, and there's our Bombos medallion. ACM with some bomb strats here in my favorite room to call Penguin Bowling. And Cal, now with the Bombos medallion in hand, is going to go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that should make Cold Stare a little safer as well. He can choose to use Bombos instead of the Fire Rod if he wants to start the fight and have a little bit more magic to fight Cold Stare at a distance.
Yeah, and I think that's what Cal's routing is here. Cal's been looking to try to do fights efficiently as possible. So missteps here and there, or just strange, well, somewhat strange or inconveniences. These have all been for efficiency. He could have done Skullwoods just piled first, get the swords, but wanted to get the boots first, just so he had a faster pod and everything else. Wanted to get the
outside of completing Thieves Town and doing the Hammer Blind fight, he's definitely chosen consistency over what might be the perfect route.
Yeah. Even so much as doing Swamp before Skull Woods. That was, again, more so an efficiency play, having more magic to fight them off with.
Right.
And, once again, getting Bombos before entering Ice Palace, as we see ACM defeat the Cold Stare, also leads to efficiency because Cal can use Bombos to break the Ice Shell and have more shots to fight and defeat Vitreous with. I said Vitreous, it's Cold Stare.
One,
I thought I was
one
done
good
doing
eye
that.
deserves another, or 3.
I thought I was done making that mistake.
It's like ACMLM is now up to get his Bombos medallion, where Cal is a couple rooms away from Cold Stare.
Yeah.
So I'll have another sync up point either at Mire, or we still don't have the Cane of Samaria, so...
The routes, I think, are converging in Mire here. It's just my gut feeling here. The routes are converging in Mire, so we're going to get a good idea who's ahead at this point in just a few moments here. And it's going to be within 2 seconds of each other, but I think it's going to be ACM who's going to be ahead just by a little bit.
Yeah, I think ACM will be ahead slightly as well.
Because all ACM has to do is leave the cave, mirror, and then flute to 6. Cal still has to defeat Vitreous and then mirror and flute to 6. I said Vitreous again.
Cold Stare.
Eyeballs!
Every enemy is an eyeball. Cal does choose to use Bombos to start this fight out.
And Fire Rod. Burning everything. Oh!
Oh, there we go. Does get done.
And yeah, Cal is a boss defeat animation behind ACM, so it's maybe, I don't know, 5-10 seconds now even.
A little more than that. It's still a very, very close race. Anyone's to get still. going directly into Mire without the cane. We have to guess the cane is inside somewhere.
Yeah, or something that leads to the cane. But actually, no. There's no reason not to go anywhere else if there's a cane elsewhere.
I mean, there still could be a shovel spot. Could be.
Oh yeah, there could be a shovel in here that leads to the cane, but at the same time, if the cane was available outside the dungeon, they wouldn't be coming in here.
Yeah, whatever's in here is either the cane or leads to it.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a fast dungeon, I feel.
There it is. There's the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, there it is. So that's an official go mode at 46 minutes 7 seconds for ACM. gamercal, not that far behind. Maybe about. Oh, I don't even. And no, we'll sync it up with that cane pickup, and we'll get a better idea.
Depends on their execution here in Mire 2. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but very, very good.
Yeah, the
better
routing
than I can do. That's for sure.
Yeah, the routing divergence is over. Now it's all about execution. And honestly, I don't know which of these two has the better of the two execution between the two. Considering game 1 and that epic fire rod skip in Brightside GT, I would say gamercal has the better execution here, but it's still close all 46-51, so about a 40-second lead for your ACM.
Yep.
But given Cal's execution of game 1, like I said, this could be very close.
I don't think it's going to be decided until the fight with Ganon itself.
And the vanilla is not over, it seems. Vanilla Big Key.
I don't know if I didn't notice on ACLM's side, but Cal was smart to not hit that switch.
Indeed. That might have been muscle memory from ACM coming into play.
Both these runners are in very low hearts.
Yeah. I
ACLM
think
does have his red pot, where Cal used his.
I think also ACM has set up Spooky Ashing Glitch. I noticed some boot dust there, which helps preserve the variable in executing the glitch. Using a map buffer, even. I haven't seen that before. Might have accidentally misclicked.
Uh-oh.
I think he missed a shot. This is gonna cost him a few seconds.
I don't know if Cal looks like Cal set up Spooky as well, and Cal only has to do it in one room because he did not hit the switch at the start.
Yeah, and apparently ACM here is getting information outside from chat, actually from a tracker, in fact. 125 NMG PV, so ACM's execution is definitely up there in the top tier.
It's real good. No Spooky for Cal either. So all that time is right back.
Interesting. I guess neither runner... I know how you set it up. You have to pick up the rock outside from the bottom. And hey, there's an ice run on Victorious. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, folks, with that, we have our 7th crystal, and we have a game we like to play, but we're going to put a twist on it. So, folks, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, but our runners know where the big key is. So, for you guys at home, give us the location you think the big key is in Ganon's Tower. We're not asking for a number this time. We're asking for the specific chest. Get your guesses in.
ACM grabbing a red pot for the climb. Pretty smart move, having only 6 hearts, even with red mail. A lot of the enemies in Ganon's Tower just do 1 damage fixed. Cal also picking up a refill on his red potion.
Alright, folks. You guys have been guessing there. I can see them all. I've actually been keeping track as well.
And Acmlm is opening up Ganon's Tower. It looks like he'll be entering at about a little after 51:30.
And I'm not going to say where it is, folks, but I will say one of you was close.
Yeah, Super Bunny is a slower entry up the mountain, but without having the Turtle Rock portal opened and not wanting to deal with Dead Rock RNG, this certainly is the more consistent path up the mountain.
So, for those guest start room, it's not there. Now, I saw someone... I had to look for their name. Someone said at Stalfos chest. And they were in the right room, but it was the wrong chest they enlisted.
Interesting there from Cal, grabbing the key out of the Hope Room just to get back across. It's in that other chest in the Hope Room.
And in fact, it was... I have that name, actually. It was Super Malmo World who was the closest one. They guessed lower left Stalfos, one of which was upper left. So, congrats to you, sir. You were the closest one today.
Make our way up Ganon's Tower. It's all execution from here. No one has a real equipment advantage. Cal does have a little bit more health. Acmlm did pick up the piece of heart to get to 7 hearts.
And yeah, folks, this is looking to be a Master Sword Silver's Ganon fight. I'm actually trying to remember where our other swords were that we haven't seen yet.
I know where they're at, and
You're not telling?
I'm not telling.
Probably for the
while.
best. Yeah. We'll save that information for a little bit.
Acmlm having a little bit of trouble in the last room of the gauntlet. Does get through, but gave up a fair bit of his lead. Let's see if this is cleaner room for Cal. Gets the spin, gets out quickly, and has made up a lot of time.
Yeah, Cal is catching up. Did slip up in the third room, though. Just a little bit.
Oh.
Going up to 4-5, 54-55 for ACM. Cal missing one of the cycles on the Lambo. It's a 3-cycle Lambo 02. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, and a quick dive as well. I think Cal's just lost all the time. ACM's room just lost them.
I think so.
Going up the stairs at 55-22. So almost a 40-second gap still. This, I think, is going to come down to Ganon.
Yep, Ganon and Cleaner Aghanim execution. They'll both have the same RNG, so it's just who can do the fight better.
Yeah. A fall to Ganon on ACM's part will let Cal catch up here, I feel. But it is way too close to call right now. It's still anyone's race. Any major mistake could either secure ACM's win here, or give it to Cal for the 2-0.
One of the great things about these spoiler races is that all the RNG on the bosses is equalized between runners. The bosses all have similar patterns based on how many times you fight them. That's a Moldorm 2 fall. That's going to cost a bunch of time.
Yeah. I don't think it's enough time, though. Cal's caught up.
It's definitely made it a lot closer. But
Cal kills Moldorm 2 first! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a race going down here the last few seconds. It's anyone's game. This just got really tight all of a sudden. 57 away for Cal going the stairs. 57-10 for ACM. It's a 2-second difference, folks. Ganon will decide this, and maybe even Aghanim as well, as we begin the Aghanim 2 fight for both runners.
It's a rough pattern. Cal gets 2. ACM, I think, gets 2 as well.
I think that would too, yeah. Another awkward pattern. Cal could act from the bottom. ACM gets a better setup there.
Yeah, Cal ate one of the shots from Aghanim by sending the real Aghanim into the wall.
It's going to be a 4-cycle for both runners.
Almost shot for shot.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, both runners have defeated Aghanim. It is now time to fight the pig. This is intense. I am actually legitimately excited. Who would have thought?
This race is incredibly close, and ACMlm is entering this fight with a little bit more health. He's got a bit more of a buffer. They both can take 1 fire bat, but ACM can take a hug where Cal can't.
Yeah. So, folks, this is a Master Sword Ganon fight. The sword slashes do not work at this.
Yeah, first phase is 12 spins, second phase is 12 spins, third phase is 4 spins, and then spins setting up silver arrow shots in the end.
Yeah, so Ganon's positioning here is going to play in a big part here to how they do. Both runners are of the same seeding of RNG as well. Cal switching to cape.
Oh, didn't get the cape out in time. Takes a little damage there. Cannot take any more hits without cracking that potion. But
both runners in the same logic. But that little menuing mistake there, I can't tell.
I think I think ACM just gave that time back. I think we're in a dead heat here at this point.
Cal cheap potioning up here. Trying to play it safe.
A missed menu for Cal.
Gonna hide. Both runners hiding. Ganon's moving first on ACM. He has the lead. Both runners are in the teleport phase. Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming right down to the wire. One missed strike will decide this. I think we are tied here.
Yep, ACM had a slight advantage with those fire bats. Tied things back up. The double from Cal.
Lights the torch. Gets the spin.
Oh! No! Oh no!
Oh my goodness, Cal takes a fall, the last possible hit!
Oh no!
And ACM falls too! Oh my goodness, this is still close! What is going on?
We are back to square one!
Oh,
The
Well,
only
I guess we
difference
can
is
talk-
the only difference at this point. Did ACM crack his pot?
I don't think he did. My heart. Holy crap. Oh, I'm gonna need a nap after this one, I think. Jeez. Alright, round 2. The RNG scene is different this time, so the teleports will be different. For both runners.
It should still be the same pattern for both runners, though, just a different one than the first fight.
Yes,
Oh,
but
no,
look
it is
at-
different. It is different. It is completely different for both runners. We have a little bit of RNG here now.
Oh boy. I think it's because they...
It looks like ACM did also use his pot. I noticed it in, when he menued the tape there.
ACM gets the better phase 2.
Yeah, this is rough RNG for Cal. This is a much better location.
This isn't a good location though for ACM. Cal, I think, is done with spins.
Yep, just gotta avoid some fire bats now.
Both runners into the third phase.
One for each. Cal has a slight lead. Ganon looking to make things real interesting here. There's the second one for Cal, and the second one for ACM.
Third hit.
Both. There's the fourth for both.
A silver for Cal.
Oh no! Cal
takes another fall!
Cal dropped Ganon right on himself.
ACM's got this race. We have a game 3, folks. Holy crap! Talk about a devastating loss, but here comes 3. Here comes hit 4.
That's it. ACM has done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for ACM, and gamercal has officially forfeited as well. Gamercal knew that second fall was it.
What a finish.
So, ladies and gentlemen, ACM has finished officially in first place with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, 3 seconds. GG to both these runners, though. What an epic conclusion to this race. It could have gone either way. But the second fall for gamercal sealed the deal. And ladies and gentlemen, this means we will have a game 3, and that race is scheduled, matter of fact, for tomorrow at 3 p.m. Race stream to be determined. So yeah, it's going to be a required game 3 here. These two are not done yet. And we'll tell you right now, one of the swords they could have made this fight faster, that was behind the Ice Armos in GT, so they weren't getting that. We'll get him up here for an interview here in just a little bit. What?
I don't think I've ever seen a finish like that in one of these races.
I have never seen that happen
almost
either.
synchronized Ganon falls.
Almost a perfect end to this race. But gamercal is a trooper. Gonna finish at least the pig off for us here on the stream. The last silver arrow flies, and there goes the pig. GG's. Let's get him in here for an interview in just a little bit. Oh my goodness, though, that was... Oh. The adrenaline from that... How tight that race was just now sort of just tapering off now, and I'm feeling kind of tired, actually.
Yeah, both these races had very, very incredible moments, and were very close, almost to the very end.
This literally came down to the wire.
Yeah, as ACM is saying in chat, Tempered Sword was deep in Ganon's tower. It was in behind the Ice Armos, and we'll see where the last sword is here in the credits.
Yeah. And we are now joined by gamercal. GG's.
God
That was
damn it.
so. Yeah, that second Ganondorf sealed your fate. But that was so. The race was in that Ganondorf was so epic.
I got greedy because I knew I had to on the first one. I had double on the first hit, and then I went for the double on the second because I think I had time, and I went slightly too far up and splat. Then the second one was just balls. There's no better way of putting it. It just, you can't really do much about that. I was low on magic, so I had to go for the torch glitch, and he just spawned up top of me. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about game one for a second as well, with the bomb jump in the right side torch room.
Can I just say, I have not done that jump in like a year and a half or something at least, and I was debating whether or not it was even worth it. It probably wasn't, but I was like, alright, if we're really that close, I've got to go for it. I'm going to just do it and make this work, and, well, that's how it goes.
Alright, someone said something in chat here. Someone mentioned that there was a pet sword. Yeah, someone spoiled it. We were gonna let you guys find that out right here, right now, as we see it on ACM screen, the unknown sword, but oh well, what's done is done.
For the record, the other sword was at the GT Big Key room, the chest room, so behind Armor's Knights, so there was no way that was gonna get picked up.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get ACM in here for an interview, but he did mention in the chat that he was thinking about routing it out, but decided against it.
In theory, it really shouldn't save time when you've got the silvers to have magic. I got the cape for extra safety there. I really wanted the blue potion, couldn't afford that, so I went with the red. Because no powder being a graveyard ledge was too far away, with the mirror being where it was. So I thought, while red potion is better than nothing here, we got some really good phase 2 patterns actually for using the cape in Ganon. That was so nice. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get a 1 cycle with that actually, but I didn't hold the charge quite long enough on a couple of them, so that was a bit frustrating. I could have had a 1 cycle on the first one because he was up top corner. So little disappointing in that as well, but
Yeah, your money being tight here. Let's rewind here a bit. The money in the seat was atrocious.
Yes, I saw the hammer and I was like, well, I can get 300 pretty easy, and there's a lot of small 20s, but not enough to really get up there. So I was like, well, I guess I'm hula handing then. But I also thought, probably best just to get that out the way like relatively quickly. I wanted to do the Kakariko stuff first because the bow was there, so I could do hula hand into Eastern, just get that out the way. That to be a slight sissy strat of getting the extra heart, because wasn't really feeling 4 hearts with no sword in the dark and all of that fun stuff. So I saw
that room did give you a fair amount of trouble. You had to back out once and get a fairy again.
Yeah, I don't quite know where the enemies were at the top in the second bit, but I was like, okay, I can't really tell where I am here. I can't seem to shoot the bow much for whatever reason, so I'm like, alright, just work your way back down to the bottom and just do it from that. It's not too bad. I mean, it's better than dying outright, so...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
ACM made a mess out of the start of his routing a little bit, but ended up grabbing the flippers and hook shot before heading in Eastern. So he had a little better way to gauge where he was in that room.
That's fair.
Not to mention, he also grabbed the flute, which those little routing mistakes he made with messing up Houlihan, dying, trying to do the bomb escape to get to your
the first glove.
The first glove. He made all of that time back just with the mirror transport in the early parts. And this is kind of another thing, another parallel to see here. He prioritized the early flute, you prioritized early boots, and for the most part, it actually seemed to be ACM's lead there for a little bit. But then it all converged right there at Moldorm 2. You got a much cleaner Moldorm 2 fight, and then you guys were almost within, I want to say even 5 frames. It was that tight of a race. All the way up to the end.
I just... The fact if it was even that close is kind of phenomenal, because I know for a fact my execution is way worse. I saw you guys in the chat. I know. I agree. I am bad, so it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like my route was pretty efficient overall. I can see the flute like prioritizing being decent, but at the same time, I wanted to get the moon pearl as I got the flute because I didn't want to have to backtrack back over there. It seemed kind of annoying. I guess you could do it, the 2 trips, but it just felt better to me to get that done in one go, so I don't forget stuff. And yeah, I don't know.
Way to give us a heart attack as well, because we saw you fall first, and then we were like, "Oh, this is gonna be amazing." And then ACM falls like, "What the heck is going on here?" And then we were just like, "We just had like a heart attack and a half here." At least you gave me one.
I was so close just to hitting that forward that I hit the first time. I did the second, obviously, because I knew it was over at that stage. But it's like I was so close just to hitting the stop timer at that point and just going right. That's it. But I saw the reactions in chat, and then I was like, wait, did he fall as well? That's uh-oh.
Yeah, your guys' falls were within a second of each other.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So this is not over yet. This has been an exciting series already. Coming down, you guys were literally almost in sync in both your races here. Ian winning this game 2 once again. You winning game 1. It's going to be coming again on game 3 tomorrow at 3 p.m. our time. Are you excited? Are you nervous?
The sheer fact that this is a game 3 is crazy, to be honest, because on paper this looks like a 1090 sort of thing in terms of ACM's favor here. So the sheer fact that this is even a game 3 and could have just been, done here is ridiculous. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of exciting, to be honest. One more game, I have exactly one more page that I have pre-prepped for this. I don't need to write any more down for it. So yeah, let's go for it.
Do you use pen and paper when you're doing your writing?
I actually do, yeah. I actually got a new notepad because I was running out of pages practicing in my old one, and I've got one of the flipbook ones now, so I only have one page up at the time rather than it being an open hardback book. So it's a lot easier actually, because then I don't have any potential of looking at the wrong page and seeing the wrong notes here. So
yeah. Did I do this in seed 1 or seed 2?
I've had loads of times with my old notebook where I end up looking at the left side when it's actually the right side that I've been writing on this seed, and all the stupid stuff with that. So, but yeah, I have a fairly organized setup at this point, and I have a pretty detailed route actually written down for it. Like this one, Kakariko, Houlihan, Hyrule Castle, Eastern, Nagina, Desert, Mini Mordor, etc. Yeah, I have the general route down, and then I just scroll up and down in the spoiler log whilst I'm playing to match up to where I'm going, so that I can remember exactly what I need where. Yeah. Because it's all well and good writing down, say like bow, hookshot, fire rod, etc., all in your nice little order. But then because everything is not like this item first and this item second, you kind of, if you look at that, it can take ages to actually find the bit that you're going for. So the spoiler log is very helpful to keep open.
Yeah, 15 minutes gives you time to sort of build a general route, but trying to structure some of the more complicated dungeons, it's really hard.
Yep.
So yeah, once again, GG's to you, gamercal. You're staying alive here, just barely, against ACM. Make sure to follow both of these 2 runners here. Both of these races were just amazing. The second one especially. I actually went up an octave or 2 there because I got overly excited. Hopefully I didn't blow anyone's ears out with that. But yeah, make sure to follow these 2. Also make sure to follow our tracker, Igaru, and also my co-com James here. While you're at it, make sure to also follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming's 2 through 6, so you don't miss any racing action. And if you're more comfortable listening to a language you're more familiar with, like say your native language is Spanish, We offer restream languages in Spanish, French, German, and also now Portuguese as well. So make sure, well, you follow them. You're more inclined to listen to your native language. As for anything on the schedule here, I actually don't have it open, but there's gonna be something here on the Speed Gaming. There's always some good content here as well. Well, with that, folks, that's going to do it for us here. So for all of us here at the Link to Fast Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we just see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.
At least my file names were accurate. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.